It wasn't really easy for me to get my BA because of like all of the hard ass music theory courses that I had to like take up, which were a basic requirement for like all music majors of all types for graduation. But what matters the most is that I pass and I am officially done with school. Now I just got to keep on expanding my music career a lot more. What's up, brothers and sisters? It's Shadrach Bennyboo here, and today I am back with another YouTube reaction video. Now, today I am going to be watching another JNO podcast featuring me, Pio Mal, Cage Wilson, and so much more. So, without further ado, you guys, let us get started, shall we?
You gotta feel that heat, and you can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance you in today. Sunrise. I wanna rock with you all night, we'll get our night away.
Damn, JNO, you did it again.
Wow, I did not expect the JNO podcast to start out like that. I mean, usually in like some of his previous podcasts, he would usually start off with like an introduction, the JNO podcast theme, and then he'll like sing whatever song that is like in his head right now that he wants to sing in order to like start the podcast. I mean, yeah, he would usually do that with his cousin Juju, but now that he's doing it with like all of us friends, he wants to like maybe like do something different for this one, since this is like the first time he's done that without his cousin with him, since his cousin Juju is technically his co-host of the JNO podcast.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
We got JNO Podcast episode 19 up in here with my homegirl Sharina Garcia,
Hey.
Pio Mal, Cage Wilson, and Shadrach Bennyboo
What's up,
up
everyone?
in here. Welcome, everyone. And as you guys can see, I'm going to go ahead and just point this out right from the beginning. Juju is not here at the moment. He's taking a little break right now. Me and him already talked on the side. You know, we always make these like, you know, business negotiations and how we move about with like our projects, because me and him, as you guys know, we film like every week. You know what I mean? We get new people, like all aspects of careers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that regard, and we already went over it a little bit. He's taking like a slight little break, but he will be back, you know, later on with the podcast. But I decided that I was just gonna go with it, you know, with me as a host. I didn't want to replace him or anything like that, you know, as a co-host. But
Who
just
said
go with
that
it
you're going
as
to
a main
replace
host,
him?
you know, the JNO podcast. You know what I mean? Just keep it going, and then later on he will be back. But as you guys can see, everyone that we have here is a reoccurring guest of the podcast, because you guys have all been on one way or another, sometimes twice, you know what I mean? It just depends where it is, you know? Everyone who I have on is who I consider like one of my close friends growing up. And,
We all met
you know,
in college.
Yeah, we all met in
So
college,
that's-
community college, like years ago.
Yeah.
But,
And now
4
we're
years
back
ago.
again in the
Yeah.
JNO
And
podcast.
we're all musicians.
Yeah,
as
we're all
well,
musicians
right?
as well,
Which-
so we all share like a very common interest
Yes, for sure.
in that regard.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
damn, y'all,
Yeah.
we just been chilling like beforehand. Before we filmed this, we actually been doing like covers and stuff like that, and filming
Just jamming
and
up.
whatnot. Yeah, total jam session. That's what I love about being
Yep,
one of
that's what
musicians.
it's all about.
You know,
For
it's about
sure,
like you
yeah.
know, just like jamming out, like not keeping, keeping track of time like a little bit. You know what I mean? But just like having fun with it. You know what I mean? Just
For
improvising,
sure. I
improvising.
definitely feel like you need that as an artist, you know, collaborating with other people.
Yeah.
It's important. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. Collaborations, networking, that's one thing I've been focused on, like, so far this year. Honestly, I've taken a break from, like, I've taken a break from, like, soloist work, and, that regard, just to sum it up, like, real quick, is, like, because I've been doing music for, like, a minute, but one thing I realized, y'all, is just the networking aspect of, like, music. You know, it's, like,
super important.
people love to see me do, like, a lot of solo performances and, like, songs that I compose, and those do great, but I realized that, like, when people, like, you know, if they see, like, hey, like, see JNO or like see Sharina Garcia with like someone else, you know what I mean, performing like together, you know, like giving examples,
sure,
you know what I mean? It gives like a whole like fusion, you know what I mean? It's like people are curious all of a sudden, like these two artists, like I never see them together,
definitely.
you know what I mean, or reoccurring, you know, one or the other, you know, they're making this.
It's the Marvel version of music, man.
Yeah.
Marvel version of
no,
music.
Like the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, you know, it's like when you see the Avengers, like you know, get together. That's your phone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're the Avengers. You know what I mean? Like
I know when I
get
see
together
two of
and
my
beat
favorite
Thanos.
artists collabing, I'm like, oh, I gotta hear this. You know, so
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
It definitely like brings more attention to the viewer, to the listener. You know, it's like, oh, something different. Let me listen to this. Let me
and
see
it's
what's
also
up with
like
this.
the
for sure.
the networking aspect in terms of like getting like whoever you're gonna collaborate with, and it all comes like falls through, right? You know, the song is
Absolutely,
out. You know, it's all there. It's like in regards to you're gonna get their fan base, and then they're gonna get yours to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a whole different. That could be like a whole different genre of like listeners. You know what I mean?
For
And
sure.
you won't get everyone, you know, to like follow you. You know what I mean? But you're gonna get some people that are gonna be interested in stuff like that, and that's how you keep like expanding in that regard. I mean, this is just for me personally. Like, I love doing solo songs and writing. You know, that type of thing. But I recently I look, like, I got 76 songs on Spotify right now, of which 30 are remixes of like previous songs that I've done. But it's like I've done so many solo songs where it's like I'm hitting this point where I keep doing experimental music, you know, but I also just want to get some new faces in the mix and reoccurring people like you guys, you know what I mean, to keep working with. Because like it's like I don't know, for me personally, I just hit this point where like I can't. Like, this is the same thing. When I write a song by itself, it's gonna sound like the same song I wrote like beforehand, like just similar. You know what I mean? It's like I don't want to do it. Like I want to work with someone new. You know what I mean? And get like a new
get a different
influence
like, vibe
and view,
for
vibe,
sure.
the whole thing. Yeah, just that whole thing.
Yeah.
Alright, so guys, just to let you know, the part where JNO says that I am a recurring guest in his podcast, I have actually been in like one of his podcasts before, which was like recorded back in earlier this year from what I remember. And if you guys haven't checked it out, I'll leave a link to it down below. Make sure to give JNO some love because he is going to be coming up with great ass content for all of you very, very soon.
But I figured, you know, enough about me just a little bit right now. I've been talking most of the time. I figure like everyone, like
I
all
mean,
y'all,
this is your podcast.
you know, I know it is. You know, I be filming weekly, but maybe all y'all can like give like an update, you know, and just like a short update. You know, be like what you've been up to, you know, school, work, career, the whole thing, hobbies, etc. It can literally be anything. You know what I mean? You can just go one by one. So I don't know whoever wants to go first. I'm not gonna like volunteer.
All right. Well, ladies first, of course. Sharina, would you like to tell
Okay.
everyone?
Oh, God.
Not him volunteering
That's fine,
Sharina right now. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know why
I
I said that.
recently released 2 singles, Girls Like You and Fall Back, that JNO helped me produce.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to JNO. He's an amazing producer.
Bravo, Josh.
You know,
I
if you're
try.
if you're an artist and you're
Yeah.
looking for, you know, to collab with a new artist, definitely hit him up or hit any of these people up because they're all very talented musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently got accepted to SF State, so as a music major, thank you. And this is my, well, not really my classmate, but my fellow SF State student, music major slash cinema. And so I transferred to SF State as a music major, but I decided to change my major to Becca, which is broadcast and electronic communication, something fancy words, yeah.
Becca, nice.
And I decided to change majors to that because I feel like, you know, media training is definitely more practical now than music. And I'm not trying to, you know, say that learning music is not important if you're an artist. Of course, you want to learn how to do music. But if you think about it, a lot of producers, like well-known producers, like most of them aren't even musicians, you know what I mean? They're like, they just know what sounds good.
Yeah.
And to be realistic, you don't need a music degree to be successful in the industry,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree
But the
with
main
that.
reason I decided to do a music major is because I don't have any connections in the music industry. The only way I can make connections is, through school and my professors who have been to the Grammys, who know Grammy-nominated artists,
Yeah.
and to learn from professionals that are established in the industry already. And for people like us that don't really have connections to the industry like that, school is like one of the ways to build those connections. And I feel like, particularly for musicians, like going to school for music, networking is more important than the actual educational aspect.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree? Because I know a lot of you.
Yeah.
No,
you
it is.
Specifically,
I don't know,
right?
like, for me personally, I just feel like it goes hand in hand.
Right,
With
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know, like,
Uh-huh.
it goes both ways. There's plenty of examples of musicians that make
Right,
it
yeah,
that
yeah.
didn't go to school. and
No,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah, that too, you know what I
know?
mean? Yeah, for
I
sure.
guess it just kind of depends, like, where your journey leads and, like,
Mhm.
you know, who you know, as you said.
sure,
you
Oh
know,
yeah, I
it's,
agree
like,
with
who
that.
your influences are, you know? Like, for instance, like, an example is, like, if you had, like, a pop star that was your mentor growing up, you're far more likely to succeed in
Oh, yeah,
comparison to growing up with
definitely,
someone who isn't in the same industry, you know what I mean, teaching you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you had, like a parent that was, like, you know, like a mechanic or something like that, or, you know, like an engineer in a different field, you know, for, like, electronics, you know, you're far more likely to follow that field more than, like, if you had, like, Michael Jackson as, like, you're far, or, like a singer,
I mean,
you know, it could be
Michael
anybody,
Jackson's
you know what I mean? Like,
parents were,
Yeah.
or at least his dad was a musician.
no,
so,
I know that,
Yeah,
that, you know,
yeah.
which is why he
Five
followed,
Grammys.
Right,
the Jackson
so it's
5,
like,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? That whole, you know, journey.
But of
you know what I
course,
mean?
Michael
But-
Jackson made his own. Like, he's a super
Yeah.
talented artist, of course. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
iconic, legendary, like pop
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah.
Otherwise
Right.
known as the king of pop. That's
Yeah,
what
pretty
everyone
much,
Right?
pretty
Yeah.
much. So
Yep.
it just depends, like, what your influences are, and it's crazy how, like, coming from, like, our own, like, journeys, you know what I mean, every little step influences you in a direction, you
Yeah,
know what I
for
mean,
sure.
believe it or not, you know, it's like every person that tells you you should do this or you should do that, you know what I mean, or, you know, whatever aspirations, you know, it's all a journey at the end of it.
Yeah,
so,
everyone's journey is unique.
yeah.
You don't need school, like I said, to be
Yeah.
successful in the industry. It's more about your people skills,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
And a
it
lot
is.
of my
It is.
professors have talked upon that. They're like,
Yeah.
if I ran $1 million company and I had to choose between two people, and one of them knew how to work every single, like, you know, thing on the soundboard, and they knew everything, the technical aspects of it, you know, and they were, like, really good at that, but they had a bad attitude, versus someone that had a really good attitude, was super friendly, always smiled and said hello and goodbye to everyone, you know, type of
Yeah.
thing, and they might not know everything, but they're, like, motivated to learn, then he would rather choose that more inexperienced person that was more a people person than someone who had a bad attitude
Yeah.
and knew, you know, which says a lot. It's all about
Yeah.
your attitude and, like,
It is.
your motivation to learn new things. Like, because anyone can learn those technical skills, but it
Yeah.
really takes, like, a lot to be able to connect to people,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. Just to sum
Mm-hmm.
it up from my end is one thing, as you guys know, because you guys are all my close friends, you know, we always
Yeah,
keep up
that's
with
right.
each other. It's more in regards to, as you guys seen, you know, I was always like the promo person, like this and that. Check this out, check this out, check this out, check this out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I try to do it like a very natural way. I don't try to sell it. You know what I mean? I just try to, like, just show the quality of it, and then you just go from there if you want to, like, fuck with it or not. You know, but it's also like the promotional advertising, like, marketing aspect of it. Obviously,
yeah,
there's different
that's-
departments, and, like,
that's
you
a
have
huge part.
you
to
have
it,
you have
yeah,
the
for
quality
sure.
creation, you know what I mean, from
Mhm.
engineering, mix and mastering, instrumentalist, performing, you know what I mean, and then after all that's done, it's like the marketing of it. That's one thing I noticed in myself as, like, career wise, that one thing I want to pursue is, like, this marketing, because I know how to, like, I love psychology, and that's not for
Yeah.
everyone, but I love understanding what people look for, you know what I mean, or what people would vibe with, how to get people's attention without selling it too hard, you know, seeming like natural, you know what I mean, and turn it
Yeah,
into
yeah,
like a
for
trend.
sure.
And that's one thing I've been like just studying constantly and trying to get better at, you know what I mean, and, like, getting people's attention. Because the way you have to see it is, like, when it comes to, like, selling the music, is like you have to see it from your standpoint. So if you're seeing like a musician trying to sell you something, you gotta like wonder from your aspect as like a singer, because we're all singers, you know, we're instrumentalists, you know, like would you put the time out of your day to listen to this, or would you not?
Right.
And if you're not, then you gotta improve upon that a little bit. You know what I mean? That's just the way I see it.
Yeah.
In that regard. But yeah.
No, I get you on that.
Alright, so yeah, I can come into an agreement that for the music industry, college isn't really necessary. That just kind of like depends on like what path you are on. But if you want to like either teach or become a music therapist, then yeah, college is definitely a basic requirement for being in these types of music jobs that you want to pursue in your career.
Yeah, just different aspects.
For me, I feel like when I listen to new music, it's usually based off the first like 10 to 20 seconds, and if I don't vibe with it right away, I'm just gonna skip through it.
It is.
But visuals do play a big aspect in that in a certain way. Like if it grabs your attention and you keep listening to it, that can like sway your like viewpoint.
Yeah. No, it is. It is.
So
That's
is definitely important.
Perfect example is because Sharina and I, we just did, we did the 4 and 5 remix. You know what I mean? I mastered it, I put it on a WAV file, and I got like the clearest like quality it could possibly get to. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I'm doing that with a lot of my old songs lately. I'm going back to my old songs over the past couple of years, and I'm just like re-rendering it, you know what I mean, to a WAV file, and then mastering it through like AI, and getting like the clearest like, you know, quality. Like top tier, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I did the teaser for the 4 and 5 remix, it was very eye-catching because it's all red. It's like a collage, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and stuff
definitely
like that.
got
And people,
more likes
I got people to like
when I first posted it.
Yeah, people
like
went ahead and shared it without even listening to it.
Oh gosh.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like they didn't even listen
That's
to
a
it.
first.
Like they're already sharing it just based off the artwork. You know what I mean? The artwork was eye-catching enough. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you know what I mean? Just like that. But yeah, just advertising. That's all I want to get to. But Patrick, if you know now, you know what I mean? I figured, you know, if you want to just like do like a what you been up to.
My fault for
lately,
making Sharina
like,
go
is it-
first.
Basically, honestly, I'm just dealing with SF State. I agree with Sharina from time to time. It's all about the communications, where even though, yes, you seriously need to do the work so that you don't get kicked out,
you need the talent.
It's sometimes best to just talk with people and literally be you. Unless you are the problem, which in that case, just don't ever come near me again.
And sometimes going to school would inspire you as well, especially as a musician myself. You don't really have to like apply all of the lesson plans that you learn from school, but whatever you find very catchy can really go good with like whatever you would want to share to everybody.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've been dealing with Opera Workshop, and one of the productions that we will be doing is Dido and Aeneas, and we're not one of those classic people where we're just all like keep to the book, where even though we'll still focus on the music and be sure that it's up to the director's standards, we are doing this unique staging where it's a video game type of storytelling. Where we're playing this VR chat game called Empire and Conquest for the Flames of Carthage.
I feel like I've played that before. How old is that game? How old is that game? Like, nah, for real. Like is that a pretty old game? Is that pretty?
I'm assuming it's a pretty old game, but I'm thinking this game is just a fictional game.
Wait, it's an actual video game on a computer.
Empire and Conquest 4, yes, it is a video.
No, I think I played that before. Back when I was like 12, like, cause I used to play on like, damn, I forgot the Windows. You know, like the old school Windows computers. You know what I mean? And you turn it on, like the whole like.
Those Microsoft, what you call it?
Yeah, setup. Cause like growing up, I would like play like a lot of like those old school like video games.
Oh
and
yes.
stuff like that. After I got off school.
Oh yeah, like Tetris,
school,
for
or,
instance.
like middle school. You know what I mean? Like I would just like play those type of games, and for some reason I rings a bell, so I'm pretty sure I played that before. Cause like it's one of those games where you lead an army.
Oh yes.
Right? Okay, yeah, then pretty much that. Yeah, that's it then. I already guessed it. So keep going though.
Otherwise, it's an interesting type of storytelling to me because it's modernizing a story that, like JNO says, if it's not visually stunning enough, will you spend time looking at it?
I think. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm playing this character as Chatbot, which if video games wise doesn't sound very interesting to you, but it might be interesting to me because the joke that I put in myself is that they spend too much money on a legit voice actor, but the graphics are terrible.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Not that to me. That's always like the way I see what
It's
you're
like,
saying. It's always budget allocation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when you put too much on like one side of something and then everything else is lacking. It's like, what's the point? That's
Look
like
at Cage.
that's like I don't even know.
I'm
That's like
dying.
putting like a terrible opera singer, behind like a full on.
I'm gonna make an
orchestra.
right?
No,
Or vice versa.
putting a terrible singer
Rhapsody
on
Street
an amazing
On an
orchestra.
amazing beat.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then
I feel you
It's
on
like,
that. No,
how could you do that? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like it
it's
just sounds
gotta-
bad. You know,
Yeah.
you need someone that's gonna keep up.
It's also
You know,
just
you
like-
need someone that's gonna like
For
also
sure,
just like
for
the
sure.
Rhapsody
Yeah.
Street
be in
Kids
par.
movie.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Which
you
had
know.
all these like A-list
Yeah.
actors on it.
yeah, but definitely, I get what you're saying about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Freaking Mark Hamill was in that.
You're gonna say something earlier? See?
I was
Or,
gonna say something similar to that. I was just gonna say, like,
Yeah.
for musicians, I'm just talking about musicians, right? Like, if you have the talent, which is a sad thing, sometimes that's not enough.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you could be like maybe the best singer in the world, but if you don't know how to present yourself in a way that's gonna catch people's attentions, no one's ever gonna pay attention to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But that's just talking about like mainstream music and pop music. Obviously, it's different with like classical music. That's different, right?
Yeah.
For that, you have to be like trained
Or
from a
jazz.
young age type of thing.
Yeah.
And like, but when it comes to like being a pop artist, you have to know how to market yourself. You have to know like all of that, like how media works. Like you have to know that. It doesn't matter how talented you are. You could be a better musician than like say someone like Selena Gomez, but at the end of the day, if you don't market yourself the right way, you're not gonna be like.
Nah, it is though,
You know?
because it's like
Yeah.
it's like the what do you call it? The 5 traits or whatever. Like people look for. It's like unfortunately the way this works with the industry, and I'm more specifically talking about music right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
It's like
That's- yeah.
it's not just about your sound, although that plays like one of the most key roles. It's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
how
yeah.
you look,
For sure, for sure.
because that's just the way the construct is.
Mm.
You know, there's plenty of examples. I'm not gonna say there's not. There's plenty of examples of like great singers and like rappers who don't look, you know what I mean, the way that society wants them to look, but they still make it. But that's like a rare like selection. You know what I mean? Most of the time, you know, you see someone that pops off, you know, that like, and then you see someone else, you know, that has like way more like drive and talent,
Like technical
but you know what I mean?
skill,
But they're not like
not,
on par or like above them. That's just because of like the way they look and stuff like that, and not just the way you look. There's like other traits involved. You know, there's a
For
drive,
sure,
there's
for
mentality, there's a talent. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, the way you look is a very big factor into like if you're gonna make it and stuff like that. In terms of like the highest tier of like careers,
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean, of like artists
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But Kate.
Oh wow.
You guys know how I work.
Okay.
I make you talk. You know what I mean? Good pressure though. You know,
Oh,
something
yeah.
not bad
Sure.
or anything like that. You know, if I see
Tell
someone
us
who's
what
not
you're up
talking.
to.
yeah.
Tell us your about
What
your
you
project,
been
your
up
remixes
to?
that you've been doing.
Yeah.
No.
Last time we were together was actually I think the 3 of us and then Juju as well.
Yeah.
When we remember we filmed the episode
yeah.
that one time where we did Bad Habits.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
yeah.
the 4 of us, right?
Yeah,
The 4 of us, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's my
So-
second episode.
Yeah, it's second up, reoccurring. So you can just tell people like, you know, what you've been up to. It could be anything, literally.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been like chilling a lot.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
We
That's-
chilling.
He makes some
Bye.
money.
Shut the
I like
fuck
making-
up.
Oh, sheesh.
We should like make a meme out of like one.
That's what I love about these guys. They were
He
always
makes
fine.
really good remixes.
Nah, he's
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god,
Good
he's a great
stuff.
remixer.
Remixer.
He
Let's
has
go.
done so many remixes.
He can play the bass with the best of them.
Yeah.
He's all about that bass right there.
Hopefully, that's our
Yeah.
future bass player in our band that we're trying to start.
Join us.
Sign the petition to start a
One of us.
One of us. One of us.
Oh yeah,
Why am I
I'm
saying
fucking
that?
dead.
Why am I saying that? We're gonna sneak into your room tonight, just like be like one of us. But anyway, yeah, you know, like
1 in the morning, Josh.
yeah. 1 in the morning too. No, you're a great remixer though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's actually a couple.
yeah.
This is so fun.
Yeah, there's a couple remixes of like some like what you did for like some of my songs that are just like remixes between like 2 of my songs. You know what I mean? That I'm wanna like once I get it like mastered and everything like that, I want to post it. You know what I mean? And stuff like that because like you're just so creative with it. You know, being able to remix a song, it's not like
That takes skill.
yeah, it's not walking
It
the
takes
park. You have
skill.
to match
You
it
have to
in.
know.
You gotta have
I
some
mean,
musical
you gotta put it out.
knowledge.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you have to know which is like, or what goes with what.
Yeah.
Like, what, how to like change the key or what key to change. What
for sure.
Yeah.
instrumentals? What instrumentals go with what?
yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of like a mix and match game,
It's
right?
called,
Yes.
It's basically just making Frankenstein's monster.
Or like,
Yes.
or like
Yeah.
connect the dots, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
And he learned a song that I just showed him today, which is one of my original songs
Yes.
that I might release as my new single. That I might ask him to play bass on because he
Do
learned it
it.
so quick and he came up with such a
do
sick
it,
bass line.
Like
And I was like,
acoustic
that's
bass?
fucking dope, yo.
Whoa.
Like
Wait.
acoustic
Yeah.
bass or electric
Yeah, because
bass?
I want it to be an acoustic song, so I think we'll see.
Any basement.
We'll see. We'll
Because you know
experiment,
you're
yeah.
all about that bass.
I thought it
Yeah.
sounded, I thought it
It's
sounded
right
really,
here.
really good
Do
though.
that.
When I was saying that actually.
And we recorded it on video on first try, so
Yeah, no,
props,
first day.
props
First
to us.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yes.
Which I'll be posting
Hey.
on my IG later on.
There we go.
Maybe tomorrow, possibly tomorrow. Probably.
I'm the cameraman.
Oh god.
Shout out to
I don't know, like,
JNO.
that's not saying like the marketing
Video
aspect of
Hell
it,
yeah,
you know,
right?
like when I was reporting you guys,
Exactly,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like doing like sways here and there, you know, going slow and stuff like that, trying to get like that professional like angle, you know what I mean,
for
to get both of you guys in the
for
shot
sure.
while playing
Yeah,
and
that's-
performing, you know. So
That's what it's all about.
that's what it's
you know,
all
you gotta
about,
be
you know?
creative in all
Yeah.
aspects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Shadrach Bennyboo.
Alright. What's up, JNO Podcast? I'm so glad to be back. I am currently like 2 months away from getting my BA in music from SCC.
There we go.
Well,
Yeah.
don't get excited yet because it's still a work in progress, and I'm trying my best to like get through all the music theory shit, which is
Yeah.
not really essential for like all music people like me. But it wouldn't really hurt to use like some of the lesson plans in like music theory 1 through 4. But yeah, I'm just like trying to get through everything easily, and I'm currently like apartment searching. And hopefully the guys after, or if I graduate, we'll do like a little house
graduate.
party.
You will graduate.
You'll graduate. Don't say no M.
Don't say no M. Come on.
Alright. Since you guys think so, I know so as well.
You got it.
We'll do like a little guys getaway trip for my
Because that's
little-
what's up.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright guys, so I just wanted to like take a moment to say here that I have recently graduated college like about a few weeks ago, I believe. It was like around the last full week of May. I ended up getting my Bachelor of Arts degree in music with emphasis of music tech. I will post some clips of my graduation photos right here in this video. And yeah, it wasn't really easy for me to get my BA because of like all the hard ass music theory courses that I had to like take up, which were a basic requirement for like all music majors of all types for graduation. But what matters the most is that I pass and I am officially done with school. Now I just got to keep on expanding my music career a lot more.
Oh yeah, on the other hand, I'm also working on some new music, and be on the lookout for another album, which I am making called God's Deadliest Sins, which has Cage featured in it on like 2 tracks that I had him play bass in.
Yes, I've pretty much been his recurring bass player ever since Shattered. So
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, since Shattered. Well, also City Life as well, which is when
Classic.
all 3 of these guys were in a music video, catching good lives.
Yeah, we filmed that. We filmed that in like the city, like in SF.
SF, not San Ho.
We got from Embarcadero stop, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it was in
Classic.
SF, Frisco, not San Ho.
Yes.
Gosh darn it.
Updates with everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
One way or another. It's music is a hustle, y'all. Music is a hustle.
The grind don't
But
stop.
damn, I have like one other topic in my mind, but I'm trying to see the transition. But I figured I'll just jump right into it. Cause okay, so C and I, Sharina, we were talking like beforehand, before we started filming, and I was kind of figuring like, why the fuck are we not filming this right now? And then we were just talking about relationships.
And some social media aspects or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we kind of covered that already. We already went over like advertising and like marketing and music and like the industry. We talked about that a little bit. But I mean,
I just think it's a part of growing up. Honestly, like you know, you're not gonna have the same friends that you do in high school or per se. You know, because
Fuck high school.
as you grow up, you just realize like that you have to put yourself first at the end of the day. And just because you feel like lonely, you know what I mean, doesn't mean that you have to hit those people up that was toxic to you in your life.
Yeah.
You know, because I've had to not cut off people, but I've just had to, you know, stop hitting up people that I felt like were negatively affecting my aura and my energy type of thing, you know. And you just like, when you grow up, you just realize that sometimes you just have to let people go. Type of thing,
No,
you
I mean,
know?
like, for me personally, because, like...
when you let her go.
Oh my gosh. Quoting Passenger already, huh?
I see how you love when you let her go.
I see how it is now. We should have made that our intro song.
And you let her go.
Alright, yeah, there you go. But, I mean, like, okay.
Yeah, you can speak
Being-
on
okay,
it.
being
you can
serious,
speak on
like-
it, yeah.
Go on.
Coming from my perspective, like, recently, I don't know. Like, I just feel like, you know, like, guy or girl, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, like, who you are, who you identify as. I just feel like you have to understand to, like, be okay with being alone. There's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta like
I know,
accept the
for
fact
sure,
that
for
they
sure.
do
I know
Yeah.
plenty of people, and everyone gets depressed. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all human. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being sad. There's nothing wrong with being mad. There's nothing wrong with feeling some type of way. But it's like, if you can't learn to just be on your own, you know what I mean, and be content. That's the difference, right? It's like not going crazy, because I have these moments too where like I go crazy. You know what I mean? Where I'm on my own and stuff.
And
like
every
that.
artist and musician goes through this as well.
Yeah,
It's not
I just feel
us.
like you need to be able to just be content with yourself. And I'm not saying to not have goals, you know, have drive, be driven, do what you want to do, your career, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But like, also realize that like, I don't know, it goes hand in hand. Like, just realize that there's nothing that's missing.
Sometimes just because
you know?
people say they're for you doesn't really mean that.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't even realize it themselves.
Yeah.
You know, cause we've had mutual friends that we're not gonna name, obviously.
Yeah.
That you
For,
know,
for,
like
for protection of identity, let's call them Felicias.
Yeah. He's our lawyer.
If you need an attorney, you can turn to him.
What's a suit?
Better call Patrick.
sometimes it's hard to remove yourself from a situation because you're so comfortable with that person and because you've known them for so long. But honestly, time sometimes doesn't really mean anything. Like, you could know someone for 10 plus years, but are they really helping you grow as a person, or are they holding you back? And sometimes it hurts to acknowledge that they're holding you back. And sometimes it's hard to let go. And just because you still love them doesn't mean that, you know, you don't care about them anymore when you do stop talking to them. You can still care, but from a distance, you know?
Yeah.
Because you have to put yourself first. Like
6
I
feet
said.
apart.
You
know
can't
what I
expect
mean?
yourself
Like-
to be in that person's shoes whenever they're like going through something.
No,
that you're not
exactly.
going through.
Yeah,
I feel like it goes, you know, it goes both ways. You know, it's like everyone's going through something. You know.
Right.
Or in other words, you can't always be there for them 24/7.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's nothing wrong with like feeling lonely and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
normal,
in that regard,
you
it's
know?
normal. But
Yeah.
it's like, you just gotta just be content with yourself. Like, that's just the way
That
I
is the
see it.
most
It's like, it took me a
important
minute
thing.
to just see that with myself,
Mhm.
because there's moments, especially recently, there's been like weeks where I was just like, nothing would ever satisfy what I wanted.
Yeah.
Nothing would. Even being with someone else too, it didn't satisfy me. Sorry, I spit like a little bit, but it didn't. It didn't satisfy me. It just didn't.
Yeah.
And that's when I started.
feel
After
you.
that, I started to realize that like, like if I don't stop this right now, I'm gonna go crazy. Right now, like I am gonna go crazy.
No,
like
but-
I'm already
and-
getting there. I'm
And
getting
that's
there
the
right
conversation we got into earlier,
Yeah, you
right?
know, 'cause
because
I, like-
we kind of went through similar things. Not exactly the same thing,
Yeah.
but similar things in the past few months.
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
like we were talking to somebody.
Yeah, and it didn't
yeah.
pan out. But like, yeah, it's
Mhm.
like for me, it's like I thought it was like it was just like being with someone, you know.
Oh yeah,
like,
for
just
sure.
that type of thing. But then once I got
That-
with someone else, it was just like I don't know how to explain it. It was just
Okay,
like
that's
it was
funny you say that,
Now to me,
because-
it's like that didn't even like satisfy me in like a little bit.
No,
You know what
I
mean?
totally
It
get
was
where you're
just like
coming
now
from.
it's
I
like
totally understand.
it's not just that. It's not just
And
being
that's
with
what
someone,
really
it's
made me
just,
realize, like, oh shit, I have a fucking problem.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's like I'm using
Yeah.
this other person to get over somebody else.
But it wasn't
But I'm
working.
fucking them over because
Yeah.
they're now catching feelings for me, and it's like I
Well,
can't reciprocate
Yeah,
that.
that too.
Because
So
you're
it's
just
like,
a rebound, but I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
So I was
You're
like, I gotta end
You
it.
talking about
Yeah,
friends
it's
with benefits?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
benefits.
You
Shit.
figured it out.
Amen to that.
Does anybody want to add to that?
Detective Patrick. There you go.
Yeah, that one.
But I mean, yeah.
Right? So I
don't know,
totally
just-
understand where you're coming from, because it's like,
Yeah.
I was talking to someone, and I've known this person for over almost a decade, right? And we've been on and off.
Yeah.
On and off for almost a decade.
Yeah.
And then I finally was like, look, I put all my cards on the table. I was like, look, bitch, I like you, okay? I didn't say it like that.
Okay.
But I was like, I like you. I have feelings for you. I want to eventually start a relationship with you. I'm not saying right now.
Look,
But-
Felicia. Look, Felicia.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they were like, I'm just going with the flow. And I was like, okay. So I
Yeah,
get...
bruh, like, nah.
Well, that's a red flag. When someone says they're going with the flow, they don't like you, okay?
Oh,
Sorry,
jeez.
sorry
Nah,
to
nah,
burst
that's
your
the truth,
bubble.
though. That's the truth,
But
though.
if someone
That's the
says
truth,
they're
though.
going with the flow, look, just leave, okay?
Yeah.
If you have feelings for them, just leave, because they don't fuck with you. I'm sorry, baby, but they don't fuck with you, okay?
Yeah.
If they say going with the flow, that's
That's the truth.
not a good thing
mean,
for you.
yeah.
You're not really
Yeah.
going with the flow.
They're
You're
not
just-
going with the flow. They're just trying to
Fucking
use
around
you
with
You're
for
just-
their own
Yeah.
ego.
You're just
Dead
staying in
ass.
your own bubble,
Dead ass,
basically.
though.
Right? So,
Look.
so I gave it a couple months, and then finally I was like, look, you made it clear where you stand, and I have to remove myself from this situation for my own sake. Because you already know what's up. You already know everything. I put everything out there, and you're not reciprocating at all.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it's not you, it's me. But, you know, it is. Like, type of shit.
Look,
Yeah.
look,
I
Felicia.
have feelings, and I can't separate those feelings. Like, I can't just be your friend because I like you, bitch, okay? So,
Yeah.
good luck with
Nah, I
it.
get what I get what
Right?
you're saying, and
Like,
it's so fucking.
and it sucks. Trust me, I still have,
Yeah.
like, but don't doubt yourself, okay? Put yourself first.
Yeah.
Put yourself first.
Nah, you do.
You
have
deserve
to.
better.
You have to. You have to put your own health first.
Yeah.
It has to come first.
Mental
and-
and physical. Okay?
I mean, like, not even gonna lie. When you're in that state, it feels like some Romeo and Juliet type shit.
especially when the sex is bomb, girl.
Don't even get me started with that shit.
Yeah.
I'm just going crazy, bro. And it's drove me
It's
fucking
hard
nuts.
it's hard to let that go because it's like I could be getting like some
Yeah.
head right now, but
Yeah.
you know,
It drives you up the fucking wall,
right?
bruh,
It's like
and it's
fuck,
just
but
like,
my feelings are involved, so
and
it's
it's
like
extreme. Oh my god, it's extremely.
call me a
toxic.
simp, but you know, it's like
It's life.
I'm
It's
too
hu- it's
old for
human,
that. I'm
it's
too old
human.
for that,
It's
you know
human
what I mean?
emotion.
This-
like
This whole conversation is reminding me of dialogue. Tell me, look, Felicia, I like you and I want you. So we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way.
Oh,
Your choice is
man.
yours.
wait, where is that from? Is that like TikTok?
The Boondocks, yeah, that shit.
Oh my gosh.
And I want you.
there we go. All right, y'all.
So,
we're already hitting the
we hit
30,
the time
35
limit.
35
Yeah, we
minute
hit
mark.
the
We're gonna do a
time
huddle.
limit, so-
Do a huddle at the end with everyone. I appreciate everyone. This is our original Skyline crew up in here.
Skyline.
We all met at Skyline music class and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Little reunion.
Yeah.
You know,
Alright, guys, I'm gonna end it here and just say I am like at a total loss of words for this one right now. Yeah, it was a great podcast. I'd love to be in JNO's next podcast soon, whenever he comes up with one, because it's been such a great honor for me to continue being a recurring guest along with Pio Mal, KJ Wilson, and so many more people that have been in Josh's podcast for like the past 10 times or so. Well, by 10 times, I mean he's come up with like over 10 JNO podcast episodes. All right, hope you all enjoyed this YouTube reaction video of mine. And if you guys want more YouTube reaction videos from me, whether it be a YouTube poop or like whatever YouTube video that you want me to watch and react to, leave it in the comments down below and I will try to watch and react to them and share it with you guys as much as possible.
Belly get in the game? I got it!
What the fuck?
Then one day, it seems, while the plain-bellied Sneechers were doping